Hey world, this is Terry, the crazy home mechanic guy. We have this Honda 250 Rebel that we acquired, and my son and I have been working through trying to get it working again. We finally got the thing on the road, and ships through all the gears. I had to do a carburetor kit. This tank was full of crud, mud, and rust, and you name it, it sucked. We put some anti-rust in here, took a couple of days, rinsed it all out, and we went and had to buy a new tube. Fuel pilot on the side over here, we had to put a new one of those in there. Carburetor kit, it wouldn't idle right, and carburetor kit I got for it wasn't too expensive, and I had one nut that was really just stuck and almost rusted and frozen in place. One of the idle jet, and I kept trying at it. Hit it with carburetor cleaner and some PB blaster and let that soak, and finally got that one to crack loose, and we were able to get all those jets, clean them out. I watched some YouTube videos on how to do carburetor cleaner. It was really good. What's going to happen here is you take a look at this bike. Over here on the front, it's all sun bleached. The paint is sun bleached. The tires are just worn out. I got some new tires come over here to this side. We have this panel off for right now. We still got it, and we're going with a IronMan theme. We just painted it. It's in the box over there, but we got it off because we're about to take this thing apart. The tank is not that bad off. Does have some scratches, but when we get done, you're not going to have any of this on the Rebel. We're going to get rid of the Rebel on the side, and we're going to repaint this tank. Where the dent is, well, maybe we can find, like, I just got shot by the sheriff, little emblem thing there, and stick a sticker on there so it looks cool. On the back side, you can see it's all, back tire is rotten, dry rot. The rim, I mean, that thing is, it's just nasty. It's been sitting up for almost 10 years when we acquired this bike. The engine was fairly alright. It seemed to crank pretty, not too bad once we got the carburetor, and it runs okay. But the inside, I think it sat so long, some of the links and stuff. We're not going to go into a full engine rehaul. Even though we had to use some PB blaster to free up the shifting, but it does shift through all the gears now that we got it going, and we put about 7 or 8 miles on it. We're going to drain that oil out and throw it away in the recycle, and we're going to have to do that a couple more times to, you know, help clean out the rust junk that's getting thrown off the engine on the insides, because I did see some when we took the clutch assembly apart, and put it all back together. We buffed this up some the best we could and got some of the rust off of those parts. But that was just a start. On this side over here, take a look at that chain. That thing is slap wore out. We went to a neighbor who's also a motorcycle enthusiast, and he actually works on more than I do. I'm more like a car mechanic. You know, I can take apart an engine, put a new axle on, brakes, all that, but very seldom worked on bikes. But he said our sprockets are really still in great shape, so we're going to get a new chain. We went ahead and turned it off, and I let him run it out and run the engine until the motor died and get most of the gas out of the carburetor for this overhaul that we're going to do. The frame down here has, you know, it's it's got its dents and hiccups and rust. We're gonna redo the frame, repaint the frame. We're gonna repaint this frame, and to do that we're gonna have to disassemble the whole thing. While we have it apart, we're also gonna try to buff up the engine some, make it a little bit more presentable. And with the IronMan theme, we're gonna come back with red and gold colors. And up front here, front brake, you used to hit this and it just went straight down. This was at an angle, so you couldn't hold much fluid in it. We loosened up these bolts, got it back down. We put some .3 is what you can use, .3 or .4. I got the .3, .4 from one of my jobs that we did on a vehicle out of the garage, and I had some left over, so it worked great in here. Had Sam, the cameraman, work the brakes for me while I bled the caliper down here. And so we finally got the front brake working again. And unfortunately this bolt broke off because it was rusted on, and we're gonna take it out eventually during the process of rebuilding the bike and find a new screw for that one. The other thing I also have on order is we have a new caliper disc brakes, and front brakes are used more often on bikes to slow down. The back brakes tend to last longer. We might take a look at the back brakes just to confirm that they're still looking, there's a good pad on it, and if there is, we're just going to ride with that. But we got new front brakes, because these things are almost down to the metal. I mean, there's hardly no meat on those pads in there. See, there's not much space right there. That pad is worn slap out, man. There's hardly nothing there. So we got new pad coming. And the other part of this video is we kind of want to get a good video of what the thing looked like before we took it all apart. So the engine's coming out, the back's coming off, we're ripping off everything. We're taking the front forks off. We're going to paint these dudes gold, and along with some other stuff that we're going in the painting process of presenting this bike to be IronMan style looking bike, and with the color theme. You see, there's got to be one more thing here, and so I'm gonna just ask my cameraman to slowly come across the bike, front and back, and take a good picture of what it looks like now. All right, YouTubers, we're gonna find out how this is gonna turn out. I hope y'all decide to subscribe and join us. We're probably not gonna have a video for every step, but we are gonna have some in-between shots. So wish me luck.